If you have been trying to quit porn for many years and you have not been successful, then you're gonna really appreciate this video because we're gonna start breaking this belief that beating porn has to be hard. In fact, it's a lot easier than you think. All right, let's get started. Alright, howdy folks, Ben Uyama here. I quit porn more than 5 years ago after it tormented me for most of my life, even though I was a man of faith and even though I have a wife and kids. And I make these videos just for you guys at home because I just want to share everything that I've learned over the years in quitting porn myself and also helping others do the same. Alright, I've been wanting to make this video for you guys because I had a bit of an argument with one of the viewers on TikTok. I have a TikTok account if you didn't know that. And basically, you know, a lot of what I teach you guys here in our free content is that quitting porn is very, very, very easy actually to do. But what people confuse is they think that it's really difficult because the recovery is actually what is difficult. The healing is what is difficult. That actually takes time, is understanding the root cause of why you have a porn addiction and habit and dependency and alleviating that. And that takes time and effort. But the actual act of quitting porn is very easy and very simple to do if you address the reason that you have porn in the first place. So this guy in the comments was basically like, what are you talking about? It's easy. It's super hard. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life. That's what she said. And he was basically making the point that it's not as easy as I make it seem, right? And I understand why people have this. And there's two kind of fundamental mindset changes that you can have about how it's having this mentality that it's really hard is actually doing you a disservice. And the first reason is because if you approach anything in life as this is really difficult to do, it's really hard to do, and you have that fundamental like underlying belief, the chances that you're actually going to achieve what you're trying to do is very slim. Like as a kind of tangential example, if I told you that you could have 6-pack abs in 3 months, right? And if I said that to you, or whatever like benchmark is really difficult for you, you might already have 6-pack abs, right? But if I said you could be extremely fit, like beyond your wildest dreams within 3 months. If you thought to yourself, that's impossible, I can't do that, there's no way that's possible. What are the chances that you're actually going to do it? Pretty much no chance. You're not going to do anything, right? But if you had some kind of weird belief and delusion almost to feeling like, yeah, I can do it, I'm ready to do this, I'm going to have 6-pack abs, I'm going to be in great shape beyond anything I've ever imagined before, what are the chances that you're actually going to do it? Very high. Right? So if you simply have the belief that I can do this and this is possible, the behavior that follows is what? You try your absolute best to do it. And here's the thing, guys, you're not going to be left with nothing. If you try for 3 months, learn all the stuff required to lose fat, to gain muscle, to work on your health and all that good stuff and nutrition and whatnot, the chances of you reaching your 6-pack ab goal is very high. The chances of you reaching at least a 4-pack ab situation is higher, and the chances of you having a 2-pack are even higher, and the chances of you being not unhealthy anymore and not being overweight and fat are way, way, way higher, right? The difference between these two people, if someone that says, oh, I can do that versus someone says, oh, that's too hard, that's too difficult, is night and day. Because the person that says, I want to do it, I'm going to try my absolute best to do it because I believe I can, that's the thing that's going on. So it's a fundamental belief that people have when they try to start quitting porn is, oh, it's difficult, it's really hard to do. And I ask people, like when they join a program, for example, or in the comments, why is it that you believe that quitting porn is so difficult, right? And usually the reasonable answer is because I've tried really hard in the past. I've tried my absolute best to quit porn and it hasn't worked. Nothing has worked. And therefore the reasonable conclusion is it's really hard to do. It's too difficult to do. But here's the thing. How does your behavior follow that belief? Your behavior follows in the steps of, it's so hard, I might as well not try. It's so hard, I might as well give up. I might as well just give in to the temptation of porn and masturbation for the rest of my life. That's how the behavior follows. But I'm here to tell you guys that it's not a reasonable assumption and conclusion to have that quitting porn is too difficult just because you've tried your best in the past. What I often say is that you haven't actually tried your best, right? Like, think about it for a second. Let me know in the comments if this is true. How much money or time or effort have you actually invested in quitting porn? Versus how much time, money, and effort have you invested in your education, like your college degree or your master's degree or whatever, or going to Starbucks or, you know, whatever it is, right? On Netflix, it's disproportional. So it's kind of an unreasonable assumption and conclusion to say that you've tried your best and something is too difficult if you actually haven't put the skin in the game to quit. So if you haven't, like for example, spent significant amount of time, energy, and even money and put it on the line to quit porn, then it's kind of not reasonable to say that it's too difficult, too hard. So I'm here to break that belief for you guys that it's actually not as hard as you think it is, because if you really wanted to, and if you really put yourself full force, 180%, 190%, 200% invested in quitting porn, the chances of you succeeding go through the roof. You follow? And also what's helpful to note is that in order for that belief to be true, that it's really hard, it's really difficult, it has to be true for everybody, because that's what truth is. Does that make sense? For something to be true, it means it has to be true for everybody all the time. And we know all the time, guys, there are people that quit porn and masturbation and they just give it up. There are millions of people in like the subreddits of the NoFap community, of the semen retention community. There are millions of people that just decided to give it up. And that was it. In my own experience, it was literally one day where I was a user of porn, and then the next day I was not a user. It was simply just this mind shift change I had. I broke a belief that I had, which was I need porn in order to alleviate stress relief. In order to stop being stressed out, I need to soothe my stress and anxiety with porn and masturbation. And I believe that I need it because I'm a man, because I have a high sex drive, whatever that means. I need this sexual release. Until I really challenged it and I thought, is everybody like that? Like, if that's true, it means that everybody in the world at all times, 100% of the time, needs to be in that situation. And then I was like, actually, I know a lot of people. I know tons of people that don't struggle with PMO and they don't need it. So that means it's not a truth. And I haven't put my full effort into this yet, so I can't conclude that it's too difficult to do. And so I challenge my beliefs, and challenging your beliefs, guys, is the fastest way to change your behavior. It's the fastest way to beat PMO. And that's honestly my personal experience of quitting more than 5 years ago, and of hundreds and hundreds of people, men that I've talked to about their specific porn addiction. When people challenge their beliefs, they can expedite their ability to quit porn and masturbation, because you immediately remove the biggest roadblocks, which is yourself, your own limitations to beating porn and masturbation. Now, the second paradigm shift you can have about quitting porn is easy or it's difficult is that sometimes when I go into deep conversations with guys and I challenge their beliefs about it's really hard, it's really difficult, and I ask them to tell me exactly what is hard about quitting porn. Like, what is it that's actually the difficult part, you know? And usually when we kind of go deep and peel back, the conclusion they come to is, well, it's really hard to create a system long-term, like a support system long-term, so that I don't relapse again. It's really hard to identify my negative emotions and be really good at understanding the root cause and the reason that I experience these negative emotions, right? And then I say, okay, yes, that can be hard for some people. Yes. That can take time for some people. Yes, the healing, the recovery part takes time. But why does that mean you need to keep porn in your life in order to address that? And they go, oh, interesting. And this is why some people tend to believe that you need to kind of wean off of porn, like do it once a month and then every 2 months and every 3 months, and kind of slowly, gradually do it, because the recovery takes time and therefore it doesn't make any sense. So I just say, no, give up the porn, like get rid of that and address the reason that you have porn, and then you won't need the porn anymore. And that's the secret sauce. That's the name of the game here. And if someone I'm talking to still doesn't believe that quitting porn is not hard, it's just that the recovery is hard, the last thing I say to them is, okay, let's say it is really hard to quit porn. What is more hard? I'm genuinely asking this to you guys. What is more difficult? Quitting porn and investing in something that's probably the most important thing in your life to do, or keeping the habit with you the rest of your life and living out of integrity and without confidence for the rest of your life. And on top of that, emotionally being up and down with shame and guilt and depression and boredom, and just not feeling excited about life and just being depressed, or having a constant state of elevated energy where you're just excited and ready to get going. Which is harder? Pick your battle, right? It's the same thing when people start working out and they go to the gym and they go, you know what? This is a lot harder than I thought it would be, getting in shape. I don't think this is for me. And then I go, what's harder? Getting in shape, doing the work, or being unhealthy, overweight, and fat and unconfident your entire life? Which is harder? Pick your heart. So it's just a matter of choosing your battles. And I hope and pray that you choose the path of least resistance and quit this porn and masturbation thing. Because the biggest sacrifice is not doing anything and keeping the habit with you. The biggest sacrifice is keeping porn and masturbation in your life. The biggest sacrifice is having no control over your life. And that's the harder path. That is what is truly hard. Are you guys getting something from this video? Let me know in the comments if you like it. Also, just like this video because it helps it spread around and it lets me know that you like this kind of stuff. We have a ton of videos just for you to help you quit porn totally for free right here in this channel. So subscribe if you haven't yet. I'll see you in the next video.